Hi everyone, I'm Jenna Holly, and today I will be talking about the professional development book that I chose. I chose um, Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. It was actually written 6 years ago, so it's new. So the central theme of the book is women in the workforce and the leadership roles they can achieve. Um, this is actually something I don't think a lot of people have thought about before or looked into that much. So the overview of the book is Sandberg is focusing on how women in the workforce face different challenges compared to their male coworkers. Reading through the book, I had somewhat of an idea that it would be different for women than it is men in the workforce, but she kind of highlights um, what those difficulties are and gives pretty good suggestions on how to overcome these obstacles effectively. So I'm going to talk about the 3 points that I did agree with. A solid agreement. I actually did end up agreeing with quite a good portion of the book, if I'm being honest. So the first one is obviously just in general. This has nothing to do with the theme, but this is something I think is very important. It's having uh, authentic communication, and even though it's not always easy, it is very beneficial for relationships at home, and it's really effective at work. And one of the things, and I'm sorry that my camera kind of hides it a little, but the most the person with the most authority to make like effective communication and like have an effective change is management. If people see that management has a solid way of communicating, they can replicate that into their own little departments. And if they don't, then it's not really going to work out for the employees. Another way that employees can establish effective communication is like having a staff development committee that, as Edith, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, points out, is that the staff development committee, though it's going to vary from organization to organization, it's there so employees can feel connected and that their contribution to work is validated, and it through upgrades of meaningful skills and personal relationships that will create a healthy work environment and climate. So if this committee, or just in general, the committee and management can effectively help employees in general, so that communication within the workplace is a lot better than what it probably was before. The second thing is that women are ambition for women is not looked at as so much as a positive thing. It's usually either it's optional or it's sometimes even viewed negatively as a negative thing. This is primarily due to the fact that women are always seen as the primary caretakers of children, while men are the ones who provide the money. This is not against anybody at all. I just noticed that this is a big thing. Um, and because they're viewed as the primary caregiver, um, as pointed out in Williams's article, it it can drive their ambition down no matter what. The article focuses on like judicial offices and whatnot, but that can happen anywhere. And yeah, and then the other one that a lot of people have probably heard of is the gendered bias in the workplace. So men are more likely to achieve the higher positions compared to women, and women are usually you hear about women like trying to achieve higher qualifications to attain elected offices because they know that there's that large gap, and so they feel like they're going to have to get higher qualifications compared to um, men. Again, it was really hard for me to find things that I didn't agree with, but these are some of the things I was on the fence about and kind of interpreted a different way than what Sandberg was probably saying. So the first thing was integrating career and family and like planning too far ahead in advance. Knowing how to effectively plan can actually help you balance a career and a family. It really comes down to what values you have already that can help you decide what careers you want to have. Most of the time, your values are centered around what you want to do already. Like this quote from Sylvia and O'Brien's article, at the same time, girls' selections of careers were linked to values surrounding a combination of work and family. So if you value family as well as work, there's something out there that you can have those values combined. You just have to figure out exactly what your values are and find a balance. It's hard, but it's really important to find that balance and know what your values are. And the second thing I was kind of on the fence about was when people are open and honest, thanking them publicly encourages them to continue while sending a powerful signal. A lot of dishonest people will work with dishonest people, but at the same time, if people are honest, they still know how to tweak the system to work for them. So they might not be they're unwilling to lie for profit, but if they're able to select their partner, they're able to avoid engaging in corrupt collaboration. People might not lie as much, even if it's profitable. They avoid situations that tempt them to lie, and they prefer to interact with those who are similar. Just because you're honest all the time, and it doesn't even come down to because you're honest, people aren't going to like you. This comes down to sometimes honesty doesn't always work, and eventually, and not everybody is going to be like this, but eventually that honesty is going to turn into dishonesty the more you keep up with it. It just depends on the person, and they might not actually, they might be honest, but they could also be doing so just because they know that it can get them further, or they believe it will get them further. The last thing I was kind of iffy on is the idea. Chapter 5 in the book actually talks about mentoring. It's actually called Are You My Mentor? And I've always seen mentoring as a way for a workplace to establish a connection between someone with experience and someone new to the setting. So the person with experience is acting as a guide. They're helping the new person, like giving them an idea of how things work and how the work environment is. In the book, it's kind of like she talks about how, like, if you have to ask, it's kind of not a good thing too much, but I don't know. Especially in like postgraduate stuff, it can really benefit people postgraduate, especially in like health systems. Mentoring is definitely something I think would be important. I do recommend this book to everyone. You end up getting a better understanding of the challenges that women face in the workplace if you didn't know it already, and you'll see the difference between how women and men are kind of seen in the workforce. And like I said, she does give pretty good ways of fixing these and keeping it fair. This is my work cited, and I hope everybody has a good day.